And we're live. Hi, welcome to the Dojo Kun Shill Shack, episode number 18. And I call this one Instant Successes. And you'll see why when we start talking to my guests. My co host, Mandy Summers, is running a little late, but we'll make sure that we cover her project when she gets here. No problem with that. I can boomer my way through this. So let's bring up the guests that are here without further ado. We have Von Klaus joining us. Hi, Von. Thanks for being here, sir.
Hey. Thank you
And
for
a
having
man
me.
who mysteriously wants to go by AI. How are you, sir?
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. It's a pleasure to have you. I love covering the books of these great creators such as yourselves. Speaking of which, Vaughn, we're here to talk about Terror in the Trenches. And, I call this show Instant Successes. And, largely I think that Terror in the Trenches speaks on its own as a great project. But of course, you've also got a success before it with Monster MD, which has been lauded as one of the best books, if not the best book of last year. A lot of the folks on my show not too long ago called The Best of CG 2021 pointed to your book as one of the best. So, number one, if you could speak to how that felt, and then how you felt when you were launching Terror in the Trenches.
When Monster MD was such a success, it felt more than successful in terms of money. It wasn't, the excitement in my heart wasn't about money. I remember the feeling was, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm not an outsider as much as I thought I was anymore. I finally do something that I'm good at and people actually like it. This is amazing. So it was life-changing. And from then on, I felt like I had to work harder and more, and that's kind of interesting because then that leads me to Terror in the Trenches. Because Monster MD was doing pretty well when I started writing Terror in the Trenches. So it was still a campaign then. And Terror in the Trenches was something I was just writing late at night and for the joy of it, but also because, Monster MD's success made me realize, like, it's Miller time. Like, it's do or die. Let's do it. Let's make comics. That's what I've always been doing in the background my whole life. And it's what I love doing. It's where I have control for once and can express myself the way I want. And make just awesome stories to entertain the hell out of everyone and have a good time doing it. So yeah, that was the feeling. It was this like life shift. And when Terror in the Trenches did well, I mean, the feeling was amazing. I worked so hard for that, and at the same time, I'm so hungry too. So it's like, come on, guys. Like, we need more. We need more people to see this book, So
right, yeah. So like you said, it's not just about the money; it's about the exposure to get out there and let people see your work. And speaking of work, you definitely are one putting in the work. And the reason I want to, call that out is I recently put on a tweet that was sort of maybe a hot take, and a lot of people had a lot to say about it. Some were encouraging. Some people told me, cry me a river, Brian. But the point is, you are often pointed to as a great example of what can be done with the right amount of work, publicity, great product, with your IPs, and then, of course, getting out there and getting into all the shows as part of the grind. Now, that I can definitely associate with, because when I did Siamese, I was on 80 shows. So if you're out there and you're doing this, getting people to know you more than just know the name of your product, which you always did, I think that speaks highly of you and your passion for this project.
Thank you. I mean, everything you just touched on there, and the combination of like the best possible book and story and art I can give, mixed with like fun promotion that like gets people excited about comics in a way they usually aren't, mixed with, getting myself out there and doing the tour, as it were. Like, it's almost like a rock band going on tour, not because right. Not even because the tour pays them all that well, but because, the new fans they make along the way are what builds the business, builds your livelihood. So it's been such an amazing experience, taking all that I've learned throughout my life and tried and failed at, and then applying it to making the whole package, I guess you could call it. So yeah, I'm glad that people see that, because I really do work hard at all of that. I did run an online store, so like I'm familiar with like designing things to show off products, how to write to get people excited, or how to promote products, how to do advertising. So there's all this stuff that came together to make this happen, man. It was it's kind of nuts. I'm exhausted. It's a one-man show, dude. It's nuts.
So yeah, one of the things you just touched on was the tour that you alluded to, or you made the analogy to a rock band, and something you said really sparked interest in what you were saying, and that is, didn't make them a whole lot of money, but what it did was it gave them a connection to their fans, and that's something that we've got now that is unprecedented before for indie comics since the last, except for the last few years, where we've got a direct connection to the creators, not necessarily just the indie pros, but that's awesome. I mean, shit, I'm talking to Dan Fraga and Shelby Robertson, and it's like I've been reading their stuff for years. I'm talking to Billy Tucci. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? But turns out they always tell you, don't meet your idols, because they turn out to be, no, these guys are great.
These are great guys. I remember still being a kid and holding the first copy of She in the comic book store, like, what is this? This is amazing. I have to have this. And I remember reading stuff that inked by Art T. Bear, and now Art is hiring me to write for him. So like the magic is not lost on me. I'm blown away by this sudden internet. The internet is like this magic electrical, teleportation field where we're getting to hang out with them now.
Yeah, and I'm hanging out in Shelby's stream. Shelby did a cover for me. He's done a pinup for me. It's so cool to be working with these guys, and I'm paying for it, but still, it's so cool to have the interaction and the camaraderie with people.
It used to be a dream.
Right,
it used to just be a dream, and now like the little guys can use this electrical field to get ourselves out there and turn ourselves into something if we want our 15 minutes or whatever.
That's right.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. I'm not that much of a YouTuber. I should be. I'll try to be, I guess. But I just like to make good art, But I know that these days the mix of YouTube and your making your books is an important thing.
When I was on K Manifesto's show as his co-host, one of the things that we always talked about was the important triumvirate, where there's YouTube, and I don't think that we should take credit for this, because I think some other people talked about it as well. But there's the YouTube, Twitter, and Indiegogo. Those three things combined are the magic triangle of
activate.
You know what I mean? Of actuation. Yeah. So like you said, it's not always the most comfortable thing to get out there on YouTube. I have been a broadcaster before on radio, so I did have the behind the microphone experience, but not in front of the camera experience. So this has been kind of new for me. I'm glad that I joined K Manifesto back in, I think it was March of 2021 that we really kicked it off. And I got this show going in December of 2021. So, I'm hoping to get a little bit more of these under my belt, get that channel growing, and stop boomering on the channel.
Is that like on a if that's on a post-it note to remind you, then you're boomering.
Yeah, right.
It's not boomering on the channel. No, you're doing great, man. Thanks for having me so far.
Yeah, you bet. So
all good things take time, right?
And each time I learn something new, whether it's from the creators or just going through the machinations of producing the show. Speaking of which, did you want me to pull up your campaign so we could have a look, or did you want to pull it up and drive? You want me to? Okay.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
All right. No problem.
I'm too sleepy to drive, boss. I can't go home. I really, really like this campaign for the fact that it's like everything that I wanted to do in Monster MD, I got to do and improve on in this one. So it's
okay.
Oh yeah.
So here we are. Let me go back to that screen so that you can drive and tell me where you'd like me to scroll and all that. Tell me what you want to tell me about this campaign.
This is Terror in the Trenches. It is volume 1 out of 3. This is a dark avenging trilogy using a Golden Age character who's free to use called Black Terror. No one has really known what to do with him, or different things have been done over the years with him. And I saw so much potential for coolness that was untapped. I had to make it happen. What ended up happening is I wrote this really badass script, about 206 pages, and turned it into a sweet trilogy and was like, what do I do with this? And I don't know, man. I realized I should make it. If you want to just scroll down as I talk, from here, we could start getting into art and stuff. It's basically the story of Black Terror, who fought as a superhero in World War II. His powers, he's super durable, he's super strong and fast, and he inhales this Terra gas for his powers. Now, when he exhales, it's like a fear toxin from this gas. So he has kind of a scarecrow effect too when he gets in close to his enemies. So you'll see him as what you fear most. It has a lot of crazy different effects on enemies, and you'll see him as a lot of different things that the enemies see as he changes right before their eyes.
Oh man.
So yeah, he's a brutal trench warrior in World War II, kind of almost bad guy in Nightmare as much as he is superhero. You know what I mean? He's kind of a monster to the bad guys.
Almost like an anti-hero?
Very much so. And he's named the Black Terror by the Germans themselves. So it's like this, I wanted to make him more associated with horror because of his name. And so that's how I do it. Yeah, he sees him as this flaming skull now. And then off with his head. And that tank goes kaboom, and he just kind of cuts through it and takes the blast like it's nothing. And then comes in for the kill. So he is a force of nature. He's a force of super nature. He's kind of freaky, but some creepy things happen on the field that make him just drop the mantle and walk away forever. He ends up starting a new life as a pharmacist in New York and settling down and getting married. Well, 30 years later, his wife is gone, sadly, and he's just running this pharmacy alone in his little New York neighborhood that he cares for. When these Nazis from his past, who call themselves the Black Reich, show up and come to destroy his entire neighborhood. They turn it into a crater within seconds. And that's where our story kicks off. In 1975, Black Terror has to don the mantle again and head into the ashes of his neighborhood and take on some massive vengeance on the Nazis that blew everything to hell. So
that does sound like a great setup. I haven't heard that pitch before. I'm glad you're here to tell us that.
It's a throwdown of a book, man. It's very John Carpenter-y. It's very like, one brutal night in Black Terror's life. It's everything I love, man. And like good, dark, avenging stories.
I love this art.
Thank you. Yeah. Monica McCagney of Italy, just an astounding artist, world-class, killed it on Monster MD. And ever since, we've loved working together and have done a lot of good stuff. She was so excited to do Black Terror. We both talked like, should we do Monster MD too? And she said, no, I mean, I believe we could do Terra. So I believe too. We both realized we had something special when we did the character designs together for this book. So it's so great working with her. She's such a visionary artist, I guess. She's just mix of...
Am I allowed to ask who is this?
Black Terror.
Oh, that's Black Terror. Okay. He's all hooked up, huh?
Black Terror just when he decides to gas up and get his powers again. He puts on the mask and gets on the throne, and then the Terra Gas flows, man.
And who is this?
Now we have another free-to-use Golden Age character from the 1940s era, Lady Satan, another hero with an evil-sounding awesome name. And she, back in that era, she was the same thing as Black Terror. She killed Nazis. Her husband was murdered by Nazis and sank on a ship, and so she's out for vengeance. She blew him away with guns, but a later incarnation of Lady Satan had her be a mystic with witchy powers. I just kind of combined the two and made her a witch with gun powers. So she's got these mystic. She's the mystic gun ballistic. She's got an arsenal around her that just blasts and floats and kills everyone while she does these awesome acrobatics. She's got guns in her heels. She's just a fun, awesome character. She's got she's funny mouth on her. She's kind of the mouth of the story. I always like to add a mouth. And she's another cool version of vengeance that gets explored in this story, where she kind of keeps everyone at arm's length because she's never really over the death of her husband, So
I got to ask, do they have the obligatory misunderstanding fight before they team up?
No, it's one of those classic things where she's like, I thought you were dead. Like, because he hasn't been in the game for so long,
Okay.
So it's one of those things. She's like, I haven't heard from the Terror guy in a while, Yeah. So she just goes, I thought you retired or, died. That's what she says. So
nice.
Yeah. The obligatory fight thing doesn't happen, but they do have a fun, like the way they talk to each other. It's a fun spat. Like it's sparring.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of thing makes for interesting characterization and interaction between the characters.
It can, yeah. If the personalities are right, it's really fun, yeah. But then, like, they end up having to save each other, so it makes it kind of more fun because it's like the begrudging. It's the begrudging helping each other out thing that makes you kind of chuckle. Yeah, it's great. That's the Terror Files. That's actually 4 high quality prints of the character designs. And then on the other side, you get sweet stats and like data on the characters. That's like kind of like a top secret file. And they come in this awesome black dossier looking top secret thing.
Oh, nice. So is this an add-on or a stretch goal? How does this fall on the campaign?
You can buy one of those for $20. It's a campaign tier, and yes, it does come as an add-on if you want to grab that on your way out as well.
Okay. All right. What about this here?
Double-sided pin-up poster fold out. It's Kelsey Shannon doing Lady Satan, and then Tiago Barca, our colorist, and Monica McCagney doing Lady Satan on the other side. So it's a lot of Lady Satan.
Kelsey's a great get.
Oh God, yeah. I was so amazed when he turned this in. I was just like, "Yep, you nailed it." And I think he had actually left off the gun heels, and I was like, "Come on, man, I know you want to do those." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And then he did these sweet looking gun heels.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Oh, now this I've heard about, but tell us about this.
This is my first time doing a replica, and I'm really proud of this. I got to work with this great artist, Dead Sun Prime. He does the 3D modeling, and then he does the printing. And he's actually also going to do the hand painting of these too. He's a great artist, and he helped make this a reality. So props to him. We made a Terra Gas File, which is what Terra wears on his belt when he goes into battle. When he's hurt badly, when he's running low on energy, his powers start to fade, he pops the top on one of these and inhales it, and it gives him his gas against like a little battle popper. The cool thing about this replica, it's not just a cool thing off his belt with the cool, skull and crossbones and all that stuff and a stand. You can remove the arm. You can remove it from the stand, by the way, and remove the arm and everything to make it flat if you want for shipping or moving it around. But it's cool because it's part of the plot. When you read this first book, you're going to see how a Terra Gas File is a real plot changer in this story. Okay. So it's going to be for the 40 people out of 100. We only are making 100. 40 people have bought it so far. You're going to see something cool. So I think you're going to dig it.
I love these things that have interesting tie-ins that aren't just, the print, don't get me wrong, I love the prints. Yeah. But when you see something like this, it's an additional tie-in. I know that Neff did it with his ammo box and all that, but this is another great example. It's not, again, I love the standees and I love the figures, but this is like a little nuance. It's a different kind of tie-in. It's a creative way to do this. I like this.
Yeah, man, I've always wanted to do like a 1-to-1 like replica of something I designed, and this was it. It was so much fun.
It's perfect because you can make it quote life size.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Another reason I wanted to do it. And he told me that because it's a simpler shape, like we won't mess it up as easily. You know what I mean? Like we'll get it right. We'll make sure people enjoy, so start simple.
Easy to print it. Yeah.
Right. So we got a Terra t-shirt, campaign only, baby. It's glow in the dark. Evil will know terror again.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's a good conversation starter too, because people ask, hey, what's that about?
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, definitely.
My friend Vaughn, he's got a campaign. Why don't you go take a look?
Yeah. Don't you know Black Terror? He was the original skull on the black clothing before the Punisher, like good 40 years before or something like that.
Oh, yeah. At least I would say.
Mm-hmm. So then we got original art by Preston Acevedo. He did a gorgeous acrylic black Terra painting on comic board. And as you can see, it looks like something out of like a Misfits album. It's everything I love about comics and punk rock, and his take is just great. And then someone already bought his sketch, which is pretty awesome.
Well, this painting by him is this dude is jacked.
Yeah. Yeah. He knows how to do terror.
He must have just popped a vial here or something.
I mean, it's leaking out of those bullet holes. Crazy. Pardon me. But yeah, it's cool. We already got some stretch goals done. We're also saluting the creators of Black Terror here.
Oh, let me go back up to that. Sorry.
No worries at all.
There we go.
Richard E. Hughes and Don Gabrielson. Thank you guys. Salute for making Black Terror. He's we're honored to get to make him cool as hell in this story. And stretch goals, we already unlocked a sticker. We unlocked some book upgrades. We even unlocked the patch at 50K. So I want to unlock us some red foil for the cover for the titles. So you get this like cool red, like evil sheen for the titles on the book. So I think we'll do that at 60K.
Okay. So you said you've unlocked the 50K one, right? So we're on our way to the 60K. Let's go up to the top here. Way back up to the top. Okay, so you're at 900. Well, you were when we started this. 909 backers, 55. Okay, so you're more than halfway to 60 as far as between the two stretch goals. Let's have a look to see if anybody. I don't have a huge channel, but let's see if somebody has.
No worries. I'm still rolling.
Still at 909. That's okay.
Right.
People will watch it on the replay and they'll hit you up.
I hope so. Thanks, man. But no, thanks for having me on. It's awesome getting to work on a book like this with such a good team, and that's all.
It's a beautiful looking book. It's just really the art, colors.
Thank you.
Even the letterer.
You put a lot of pages up for. Sorry, Brian. I want to ask you, put a lot of pages up for as like previews. Any concerns? Are you kind of giving away too much of the story by putting up too many pages, or it doesn't matter? Or
no, I don't, because I know what it seems like to everybody. Like, it does look like I'm putting up too much of the story. Yeah. But what I'm so happy about is there's so much I'm not showing you guys that's going to blow your minds even harder. So yeah, I'm very sneaky. I'll just say that about what I show. By the time you get the book, I want you to have those jaw-dropping moments.
Well, not only that, but I think that, as I was scrolling down, I was thinking the same thing, AI. I was thinking like, wow, he's got an awful lot of pages up here. On the other hand, that really whets the appetite, so that people who are looking at this, considering whether or not to back, they can scroll through all of this and say, wow, this is, page after page of amazing art. The lettering's not there, so I don't really know the story. I may have a good feel for it. And I think that might actually prompt people to back it just, by looking at all of the great examples.
That's what I go for. As an unknown, I don't have the name notoriety as much yet. I hope to one day build, but for now it's like, hey guys, watch me strut my stuff. I mean, we've got the art. We've got the art. Let's get you excited with it. Is what I go for. But yeah, it really is a lot of art, but still, it's a 78-page book. There's so many great scenes that are completely left out that are going to blow minds. So yeah, be ready. I'm really so excited for this book. I've wanted to do this since I was 8. When I was 8 years old, I walked into a comic book store and I wanted the dark avenging hero comics, like the original Eastman and Laird's Turtles. I wanted Wolverine, Frank Miller Batman. I wanted that violent adult stuff,
Right.
Now I get to make the book.
Now you're making that stuff. Yeah, right.
It's great.
Before we get to AI's book, let's go through the tiers here to make sure that people see what they have to choose from. So we've got the featured tier at $85. Tell us about Total Terror.
Total Terror, you get it all. You get the digital deluxe. You get the signed comic. You get a Lady Satan double-sided pinup posters fold out. You get a Terror Files print set of awesome character designs. And you get the glow-in-the-dark campaign-only t-shirt. And we're going to put your name in the book. A lot of people have gotten that, which is pretty awesome. So
great.
It's a good price.
109 people went for the Total Terror tier. I love it. You've got the digital deluxe, which we jokingly now call the Australian variant.
I like that. That works very well. Yeah, lucky me, I've got a deal going in Australia where I'm going to be able to actually ship to people for like a price that won't make them have to put their home up. So
right, yeah, that's starting to become a thing. I know that I did that very same thing on Siamese with hockey in Australia. I sent it to him, and then he distributed it for me. So that's a good way to go.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. Your signed comic, of course, your standard. $25. You get a 78-page book signed by me. And below that, $30 for the glow-in-the-dark t-shirt, campaign only, baby. Signed comic and 2-sided poster is the next one. And then after that, you get a comic and a print. And of course, all of these, or most of these, are add-ons you can get too as you're like checking out if you're getting something. Terra Gas File ships separately though. For $45, it has its own special packaging to keep it safe and everything.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
What else? We got 2-sided comics.
Yeah.
If you want your reader copy and your saver. And then Terra Tenfold for the people who want something for the shops, And the original painting, 0 out of 1 claimed. This is one painting, baby. It's on a Masonite board. and it is it's great. So we'll see.
One of a
I've
kind.
heard some people have been circling this thing with their eye on it lately. So get it while you
If
can.
you've got your eye on it, folks, now's the time. There's only one to get.
Yep. But yeah, I love the character Black Terror, and I love getting to write this story that kind of fleshes him out more as a real person. I never really saw much of him as a person, no matter who I read. Like I did my research, you know, before I did this. I read a lot of different stuff. No one seemed to know what to do with him, you know, and I just saw like awesome, tortured, good guy walking the line between sane and insane, like good guy walking the line between good guy and bad guy, like all the stuff I like was there. And I wanted to do a story about a hero who just has an all-out brawl in the trenches of what was his old neighborhood. So Terra just fit perfectly in with that. And
so this is the kind of character that could cross the line if he's not careful.
Right. He inhales too much Terra gas, or if something like sets him off and he kind of loses his mind and goes into berserker mode, friend and foe alike are not safe.
Right. Okay. That's crazy, but good to know, you know?
Yeah. Lady Satan definitely gives him some lip about it, you know?
I want to say hey to Beyond Time. Thanks for being here. Let's see. 80s Made Consumer. Cool.
Hey,
and I just followed one another on Twitter. Let's see who else we got. And First Watch Studios. Thanks for being with us. Oh, hey, he says, Vaughn, I would love to draw for a writer like you. Yeah, this book was amazing. And
thanks.
Just based on the first book, Monster MD, which I loved. I can't wait to get Terra in the Trenches. It's going to be another one of those that it's a cover to cover. Don't put it down. Got to read the whole thing.
Yeah, I really hope that after you've read it, if I've done my job right, if you want all three and get them, and I hope that you read them all again at once, so you just get that whole like one dark brutal night in Black Terror's life story. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it'll be a different experience reading it as one whole story.
And something else you can do after you've issued the third one, give it a little bit of time and then do a trade paperback so we can get one grouping of the whole thing. Some of us like that kind of completist collection.
I would love to do that in hardback if I could. That would
there
be
you
killer.
Go. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we'll see about that for sure.
Lord Ravener is with us too. Hi, Lord Ravener. Thanks for being here.
And has the character aged from the 40s to the 70s?
He's actually aged only just a little because of the Terra gas and its effects on him. Mm-hmm. And like his old war buddy kind of comments on it, like, "Oh, it kind of kept you spry." Yeah,
very cool. Okay, Vaughn, I'm gonna bring you down here and put AI up here, and we're gonna talk about Arachna 2, the most dangerous game. So, AI, would you like me to also share your campaign like I did for Vaughn?
Sure.
Yes. Okay, I can do that. Give me a moment. And that's right here. And then one more button, which I almost always forget to do, but I'm doing all right this time around. Okay, what can you tell us about Arachna 2? Oh, do you want to play the trailer?
Sure.
Okay.
It's a hell of a year, and I'm ready for more. And you can help make that happen, guys and gals. Yes, you. I'm looking forward to sticking my little nose into some more trouble, getting into some more perilous adventures. If you thought the last Arachna comic was bad for my health, you ain't nothing yet. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself.
Hello.
okay. This is Jenny talking. Look, I understand that we have to fund the next campaign, okay? I get that. But not only do I have to deal with a creep who likes hunting superheroes, now I also have to deal with these filthy rat men too. I mean, couldn't we just have Arachna, threaten to rip up the new Marvel or DC comic if you guys don't fund the campaign? Oh, maybe people don't care about that crap anymore.
All right.
Okay, I've got to be honest. When I saw that you had a actor in the outfit, I thought, "Oh, this is going to be cringe," but not at all. She did a great job with that.
She did really good. She's great.
Yeah.
When I was hiring for that role, I could have gone two ways. I could have gone with a model or an actress. I decided to go with an actress. So she's a really good actress. The whole idea with this character is she's got a split personality, and when she has the mask on, she's very kind of aggressive and alpha, and that's the mask. That costume is actually the trigger that changes the personalities. So the idea behind that was if you guys read the original Spider-Man with Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, Peter Parker was like a complete nerd. Like there's so much good comedy in there. Like he's trying to ask out a girl and she's like, "I'm just not interested in you," and when he became Spider-Man, just like a completely different person. So I thought it'd be interesting if when she's in her Jenny persona, she has like no idea what Arachna does, and when Arachna is in her Arachna persona, she has like no idea what Jenny does. So it kind of plays on that kind of Hulk, Bruce Banner type of thing too. Also,
Right.
My cousin's a psychiatrist, so I asked him about split personalities, and so got a lot of information on it, like what triggers them, the fact that they can't remember certain things, what one's doing. So they have to kind of read up on each other. So Jenny can look at news reports and stuff and read about Arachna. Arachna can kind of like look around the apartment and see what Jenny's doing. But
Okay.
So, and they don't like each other either in terms of, there's a transition mode where they can talk to each other. So when they're put on a costume or something, they can talk to it, or if they're kind of like somebody drugged or something, then they can talk to each other. But otherwise, that's the only time that talking can take place.
Oh, you know what that also brings to mind? There was a television show. It only ran one season. It was called My Own Worst Enemy, starring Christian Slater. Mm-hmm. And he had multiple personality disorder or dissociative personality disorder. And both of his personalities couldn't talk to one another and also didn't like each other at all. That would be a great show for you to have a look at to give you some ideas too.
You know what I looked at was, I don't know if you saw, I think there's a British show called, it was like a modern take on Jekyll and Hyde. I think it was called Hyde. And
okay.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was kind of like, me and Marty kind of looked at that show as well. It's a pretty interesting take on that Jekyll and Hyde character.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to walk us through the campaign?
Sure. I've just added some end of campaign perks. So let me talk about this a little bit. The first.
How many days do we have? There's only 2 days left.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that first one, I'm a big fan of Milo Manara, and when he did that Spider-Man cover, I felt that was like one of the first, like, part of the dominoes that kind of like ruined the comic industry for people who like reading comics. So he did the Spider-Man, Spider-Woman cover, and it got a lot of notoriety in mainstream, press and stuff.
Indeed, it did.
But
controversial
sorry, was that one?
Controversial press too.
Yeah,
not good press.
Which is good press. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is kind of like my like this is the homage to that. I feel like I've kind of come full circle with all that kind of make a cover like that. So this is available till the end of the campaign, which is another couple of days. This comes free with if you buy the mega pack, which is all the covers, or the super pack, which is all covers for 1 and 2. So yeah, this is going to be available for another couple of days. But just a big fan of Milo Manara, and you know, this is kind of like a tribute to him.
Awesome.
And we have personalized messages from so the actress who plays Arachna is Samantha Hawk. So you can get a message from Jenny, or you can get a message from Arachna, and we had some fun with it last year. And Arachna kind of doesn't leave safe messages, but Jenny's like very sweet with her messages. we actually got a few people to buy the Jenny messages, which I was kind of like surprised at, because most people want the Arachna messages.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd pay a chick to be sweet to me for 8 seconds.
That does have some value. You're right, Vaughn.
Seems like all the other ones are just Arachna these days to me as I walk down the street. No, I'm just kidding.
So we got the story. So this story is, this is a part 2. If you haven't read it, there was a villain in the first one, Doc Diabolique, and she's still kind of after him. She's obsessed with finding him, and all of a sudden, this woman comes up. She knows who she is, and she goes, "We have him at our island. The only thing is, like, my boss wants to meet you, and would you be open to that?" And she goes there, just because she's just like blindly obsessed with catching this guy. And it turns out the guy that she's gonna go meet is a hunter, and he likes hunting superhumans. And this story is kind of like an old story. The first time that was kind of told was The Most Dangerous Game, which was by the guy who directed King Kong. It was about a man. It was about a hunter who likes hunting humans, and
yes,
hence the name Most Dangerous Game. And this is kind of like a take on that. You're gonna get into a lot of trouble with this. I'm a big fan of films, so the first one was called Arachna: The Adventure Begins. It's kind of like a take on Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins. So I don't think anybody's heard of Remo Williams, but
no, I not only watched that movie, I read the books.
Yeah,
I'm a fan. I love the movie Remo Williams.
Oh my god, my son loves it, and he doesn't like everything comics, so he's 15 right now, but he loved that movie, and just the dynamic between Remo and Chun, like I just love that.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
It was just like one of my favorite movies from the 80s. And you look a little young. When did you see that movie?
When I was a kid in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I just loved it, and that whole Statue of Liberty scene and all that stuff. So anyway, the first one was kind of homage to that, and this one she actually gets a trainer who's Korean, so that's a complete nod to Remo Williams. So
there you go. Yep.
Yeah. My favorite line. What does Chun say? Professional assassination is the highest form of public service.
Yeah. I like the line at the end too. I think where it goes, "The quickest route to your brain is through your ass," or something like that. Like that's a good way to end that film. But not to go off. I thought Fred Ward was awesome as Remo Williams, and I think Joel Grey was awesome as Chun, and the chemistry between those two, just like fantastic. But I'm so glad you guys have seen that movie and are fans of it.
I was so surprised that there wasn't a sequel. I mean,
they wanted to do a lot more.
Yeah. There was a lot of books with Remo Williams. My dad was the first one who read them, and then passed the novels down to me, and I was voraciously reading those things. I'm a big
they did
fan.
a TV movie. It was like a pilot, and Roddy McDowall actually played Chun in that one. And
okay.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that's if you can track that down. It's not near as good as the movie, but like
right.
And Guy Hamilton directed it, who was a big. He did James Bond movies and stuff. So I just love that movie. But anyway, I'm a big fan of movies, so I try to incorporate all that stuff in. I also incorporate like a Groundhog Day type thing in this also, where she keeps getting beaten by this hunter, and he's kind of like playing with her, but every time he's beating her, she's learning something new about him, and that kind of old Groundhog Day thing.
Nice.
The art on this book we're so lucky to have Carlos Granda doing the art on this book. I just think he just does a phenomenal job on it.
The
I think
panel layouts are crazy.
he is so detailed. I kind of joke around with Marty that he's kind of like a George Perez when it comes to that detail. Like he puts a lot of detail on page, and yeah, just lucky to have him. The colorist. I think the first thing he said was he put so much detail on that my flatterer hates you. Like that's
right.
Oh, that's cool. Good old diner.
Yeah. And then there's like small things like the diner scene, which is like very kind of slow and stuff, but it's kind of cool just to, that's that second panel where you just have like the guy, the owner sitting in the back reading the newspaper, those little things.
Yeah, the atmosphere. You feel it.
Yeah.
You smell the coffee.
Yeah.
Right. And then it says wine cellar right there, so it sort of answers my question. But it was like, wow, that's a stark change of scene right there.
Yeah. So this is Jasar and Tayana, who are new characters. They were introduced in the last book on the last page, so we're gonna kind of get to know them more. The guy in the cage is Dog Diabolique, who she's been after this whole time. There's some twists and turns that happen in the story, so I didn't want to put too many things out there. But this was. So like he's been caged by this guy and she's been after him. So and he looks like he's in pretty bad shape right now.
Right.
So the fact that she calls him cue ball is not lost on me. I'm just saying.
Well, now you got to get up on stage and slap him.
Yeah, don't slap him.
Right. Slap heard round the world.
Seriously, man.
So when I saw this,
that should make them realize it's time to change the Oscars.
Right. I was just saying, when I saw this in the trailer, I was like, "Hello, what do we have going on here?"
Yeah, seriously, comfy.
Something you won't see in mainstream comics.
That's okay. I like the things you don't see in mainstream comics.
Yeah,
looks like her new body pillow came in.
Yeah.
Hey, do you do Arachna body pillows?
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
it might be a new stretch goal.
From the future, yeah.
Oh, this guy looks like Hank McCoy.
Oh, he does. He looks cool. It's like kind of a Sabretooth meets Hank.
Yeah, so
right?
this is Jasar, and he's been mutated into something even worse. So Doc, he likes playing around with genes and stuff. So Jasar had him made a serum, and he kind of took it because he was getting desperate in terms of he just wanted to get the upper hand again.
Right.
So he takes this thing and he mutates into like this semi-human panther type thing. And this is like near the end of the story.
It's cool.
I have to say, I don't mind this close-up shot we got going on here.
Yeah, we try to get those in as much as possible.
That bone is happy to see her.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay.
these are some of the covers. Lucky to get some really good artists to do the covers. I guess out of this group, Jungin Yoon, he's done some Marvel covers before and stuff. So
I thought that looked familiar.
Yeah, so he did that one, and then some new artists. Telecore is a new one. Delmos Art is a new one. Carlos Granda did some, and then Narcilio is new too. So it's a good mix of new and established artists.
I like the painted style that both Dalmos Art has and Yoon.
Yeah,
Yoon is. I mean, I use this one on the banner because I just love this one. This is an amazing cover.
Yeah. Just lucky to have these people doing these covers.
Right.
Beautiful.
Then
So-
we got the digital editions, which we didn't offer last time, but a lot of people were saying they like to preserve the books and they like to have a digital version just so they can read that. If
That's a good point. Yeah.
So,
And in this era, I mean, where a lot more people are reading stuff on the iPad or whatever.
Yeah.
They like to have comics to go.
yeah. People said traveling and stuff like that. So we're offering digital.
So
my only
would you-
concern was like piracy and stuff, but you can't control that kind of stuff. I mean,
part of me is totally on board with that whole, preventing the piracy thing. On the other hand, for those of us who aren't already big names,
Yeah,
if somebody's going to take the time to pirate one of my books, you know what? Yeah, get it out there. Show people.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah, right.
Like, bring on the pirating, share it with your friends, and then someone out there will go, "What the hell is this?" And then they'll actually buy your book one day.
yeah.
They just might. Yep, you bet. So
They might.
AI, I wanted to ask you with this offering, it looks like you can get both both digitally now. You said you didn't offer it on Arachna
Yeah,
1,
so,
but now you can.
Yeah, there's an option to get both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got an acrylic standee. Oh,
Yep.
it's a censored version only on the page, of course.
Oh wow!
Nice.
These are
We
more
love our
close up.
spicy here in X52 Studios. So
That's right. We like the spicy. Hardcover version, nice.
yeah, so the hardcover version has like all the art from the variants. It has character designs and thoughts behind character design. So it's not just like pictures. It's like, here's what we were thinking from like A to from start to finish.
Okay.
It has one thing. I love. You guys can probably appreciate this. Is I like the art of making comics. So from writing to sketches to pen and ink to colors to lettering, you're just creating something beautiful. And there's sections in the hardcover where I kind of go through that, like script to thumbnails to pencils to colors to lettering, and you kind of just see the whole process. And it's really so hardcover is usually like double the size of the book in terms of the extras and stuff.
Okay, a lot of us out here love all of that work in progress things and the behind the scenes, how the sausage is made is sometimes, just fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it myself. I think it's so fun, and I try to show it on my Substack to followers. Like, hey, here's a little behind the curtain, and it's just I love to see it on books too. So it's cool you included that.
Yeah, and Ron, you said something interesting is that you're not doing this for the money, and I'm not doing this for the money either. It's more about the love of the medium. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, hail.
You have to, or else why do it? You're not making all the money in the world necessarily. You're doing this. You love it. It's an obsession. Yeah. It's weird. Sometimes I wonder if we're all actually just people who have a fetish for making books. And like that's what's really going on. It's not about selling them. It's about making them.
You know what, Vaughn? I liken it to hobbyists who have other hobbies that are, pretty costly. Like if you're a golfer or a fisherman, or if you're a gearhead and you've got cars in the garage that you're working on, this is our passion project. It's not a car, it's a comic. And and maybe some of us are also involved in those hobbies too. But I'm just saying that this one here, it's costly. On the other hand, we love it to the point where, Siamese, when I did that last year, I actually lost money on that, but I'm still involved. I still love doing this, and I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, you've got the love, you've got the obsession. That's great. That's the way to do it.
And I don't think, like, in terms of like crowdfunding, that's where to me anyway, that's like where the heart and passion is in terms of producing these things. Like, you have people that are just like they're committed to this, and I feel like, not to kind of go off on mainstream, but I feel like it's like ideologies which is really kind of like the Trump. It's not really about selling books, or it's not really selling about. It's more about serving ideologies and stuff. So to me, like, this is more pure. When I look at Vaughn's Black Terror book, it just shows like the love comes through in the pages. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's an era of corporations becoming so out of touch, and becoming so ideologically driven. I mean, they're literally hiring people who have these made up jobs to just implement ideology all day. Like, I mean, it's crazy. And that as you put it, like, it is like the art is tainted waters in a way. You go to where you used to be able to trust these companies and these characters that you've loved and put a lot of money and time and imagination and into over the years, and now you go to them and they're preaching to you about how you're a problem, or something, or
Yeah.
how what you believe is evil fascism, and you're going, what? It's a betrayal. It's a straight up betrayal. Because as an artist, you're not supposed to do that to your audience.
Yeah.
You're supposed to entertain them. You're supposed to, and everybody knows this. If you care about comics, you're supposed to be a shepherd to the characters, or a custodian that cares for them and makes them better, not makes them into your little cardboard, pulpit, or soapbox to preach on. So it really is pure. It really is pure. We're making the new art.
Yeah.
That's in response in a lot of ways in response to their shitty art.
Their failures, their shortcomings, their lack of concern. And, like you said, as the custodian of those characters, they're failing miserably. And we're telling the stories that used to be told and the ones that we want to see. And that's one of the things that a lot of creators are espousing, and that is create the comic that you would want to read, and your passion will shine through.
Exactly. I think that's what I'm doing with my book. Juan's doing with his book. It's like things that I want to read. Not, you can do that now, and that's the beauty of crowdfunding is
absolutely
you're gonna put this thing out there, and you're gonna find people that feel the same way about it. And there's nothing better than kind of building that tribe out. So I'm still in the process of building the tribe out.
Of course,
and it's a continual process.
You're building Rome for sure.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that this these corporations where if you don't agree with them, you're like the worst thing possible. And to do this to your readers, to do this to your kind of paying buyers, like my full-time job is in marketing, and customer service is very important in a lot of companies. It doesn't seem like that's a big thing in mainstream comic companies because you got creators blocking people, you got people calling you Nazis if you don't agree with. I mean, give me a fucking break. It's just sickening what they're doing. But at the end of the day, it's really opened up the door for us as creators to kind of put these things out there, because people have gotten sick of their shit and they want to go where they can enjoy stuff and lose yourself. I grew up in I came here from Pakistan. I was 9 years old. Comics were like escape for me, and you got picked on and shit and whatever, and this was something you can lose yourself in, right? And I actually learned to read through this medium as well. So I just love this medium, and to see it being destroyed by these, at this point I don't even care about them. I think I was listening to like a young Ripper stream, and he's just saying I just don't care about what these companies are doing at this point. I'm just going to create my own. This is where we are right now. I'm creating my own universe, and that's what we're going to do. And I've got complete control over it. And in terms of our backers, there's nothing more important to me than people. Listen, if you're going to give $25 for a book, that money doesn't grow on trees. So if you're supporting this project, you're going to get the best customer service possible from me or anybody that is associated with this project. And it's important to appreciate the people that back these projects.
Absolutely. And that was a great tangent to go on, but let's get back to your campaign and talk about, we still have some available items here that we want to talk about, and then we'll get over the tiers of your campaign, because now that we've gone through all that and talked about the passion you have, I'm sure a lot of people would like to see what choices they have. So in addition, we've got an Arachna t-shirt. Obviously you can get it in black or white. I see that the character really pops on both of them, so that works out pretty well.
Yeah, that's a really good artist I work with. His name is Renato Kuna, and he did a pretty good illustration. I think it translates well to the t-shirt. Then we have prints here. People like prints, so we have this 3 Geekly art set, Geekly, whatever you say it. And then we got
your 3. Okay.
And the thing with Carlos, he works traditionally. Not a whole lot of artists do that anymore. So these are actual pages available. So the first part is from the first book. There's still 24 pages left from there.
Oh,
And
okay.
we have some pages from the current book, 2 of which are already sold out. So so this one sold out and the other one sold out. So I mean, there's one of a kind. So
Yeah, right.
and
then
these
these
are the works. This is a holophile cover. Then you have the Arachna 1 and 2 hardcovers available. We run out of printings on the first book, so there's a limited number you can get of this right now.
Oh,
Nice.
all right.
And then you have every cover from Arachna 2 plus the acrylic standee. And the
Wow.
stretch goals, we've unlocked most of them. You got this bookmark just as the campaign started. The first 100 physical backers got the keychain. Then we have a sticker that's unlocked for every backer.
I was just going to ask. I was just going to say something about bookmark versus sticker, but you got them both covered. Good man.
Then we got a 5x7 print that's unlocked.
Okay.
We got a Tiana Naughty 5x7 print that's unlocked.
Naughtiness is welcome here on this channel.
Oh wow.
We got a card, so a trading card. That was like that's a secret stretch goal. So once we passed 300 physical backers, I put this up that this was unlocked.
Oh, all right, cool.
And then
First to 400, we got another one coming. All right.
The magnet's unlocked.
You also got a magnet? Dude, you're covering all the bases.
That's fun.
And then holofoil card.
Dang.
Nice.
And then
So many bonuses. That's
we're
great.
going to have a movie, but we'll see where this ends up.
Oh, I thought maybe this was a date with Arachna. Sign me up.
She won't remember.
Yeah, right.
So
all right.
that's,
So
that's
go ahead.
Yeah, that's the campaign. So
All right. Let's get up to the top and have a look at
Awesome.
where you're sitting. So you're at 411 backers, 21,022. Let's see what happens if we refresh. Oh, you got a couple more backers.
Oh, baby.
Awesome.
Say 2 more backs.
Yep.
It's awesome.
21,260. So let's talk about the tiers real quick. You know what? We're at the hour, but if you guys can hang out, I can stay over for a little bit.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
I unfortunately have to go myself.
Okay, no problem, Vaughn. Thanks for being here. I knew
Dang.
that's
Wish I
why I
could
wanted
stay
to
longer.
cover things with you first so that you could
Yeah.
get going if you needed to. Appreciate you coming on my show and hope to
of
talk to you
course.
soon.
Man,
Fun. It's a beautiful book. I'm going to
thanks.
back it after
Yeah.
this stream. So is there any way to
Oh,
get
man.
Monster MD also? Or
yeah, it's an add-on.
Okay, great.
When you're checking out, look for the Monster MD add-on. But yeah, man, thank you guys both. Awesome time on the show. So appreciate it. And your book looks awesome. It was just great talking with you both. So
Yeah.
hope to see you
Take
around
care,
soon.
Vaughn. Thanks so much.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Okay, yeah, let's go over the tiers on your campaign. The feature tier first is
That's
the
the volume
book
2
itself, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, but you get the metallic bookmark and all the stretch goals, of course. Okay. Yep. You've got the digital edition for number 2, digital edition for number 1, and then the combination. And you save a little bit of money when you do the combination. Yep. Okay. Cool. Good to know. All right. Volume 1 second printing. So you were talking about having run out of copies. This one here, those.
You can still get them on my site at arachnacomic.com.
Okay.
But I think by the time this ships in October, they'll be out by then.
I see.
I think there's still I think 10 to 20 copies of each cover left, but we're running out.
All right. So you've got the Yoon cover at $25. 23 of those sold. Okay. This one here is almost like a She Devil version of Downmost Art bikini cover. Yep, that's good. Ooh,
That's
very
shout out to
nice.
the Jungle Girl covers.
Carlos Granda. He's the interior artist, right?
Yep.
Okay, I thought so. All right, so that's a good cover to get. 8 people claim that one so far. The Unmasking Peril cover. Okay. Tied up and unmasked. Oh, some people like the tied up covers. Yeah.
People like
And
the naughty covers also. So this one.
yeah, 38 people have already got that one. Very nice. And of course, the word naughty won't be on there. The band over here won't be on there. And we've got the Narcelio. Is that how you said his name?
Yep.
6 people got Narcelio's cover. And a minimalist cover. So when you say minimalist, does that mean it also doesn't have the cover dressing? It's like a version cover?
No, it's just a white background, no logo, nothing. It's just
all right.
itself, which actually kind of creates a very cool kind of cover.
Yeah, it does. A lot of people go for that. Now this one here, this cover, is it also a virgin cover with no cover dressing?
Yeah, I think when I'm going to be putting these together, so I start designing these books in around August, and sometimes I just go by feel. So yeah, I think some of these might just be virgin covers with nothing.
Okay.
There's a page inside that has all the information, like Arachna, title, everything, the team, all that stuff. Sometimes I just don't think you need, because these aren't in comic shops, so people know what they're getting. So
So let me ask you this then: are these square bound?
So these are stapled.
Or saddle stitched? Okay.
So I guess perfect bound is the other option.
Right.
I don't like reading books like that because it's almost like you gotta like hold them open, and where with the staple or side stitch you could just open it and it just stays open. I don't know.
Yes, you just lay it on the desk and yeah okay.
Even though this is going to be 64 pages, I think I like the staple better.
Now, is that how you did the first book too?
Yeah.
So did your printer have any problem with doing one that was so thick as a stapled version?
No.
Okay. Because my
that
printer,
48 pages. That one was 48 pages.
Oh, okay. My printer actually told me 48 was the maximum that they would do as a stapled version.
Mm-hmm. So I use Mix'em, and didn't seem like that was an issue with that. Yeah.
Excellent. And here's the standee. You can get that as a tier, but you can also get it as an add-on, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You've got the Manara homage cover.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, this just came yesterday. I just put that up yesterday. So
this is like a real quick toward the end boost. Yeah. So nobody's seen it yet, but maybe after watching this show, either now or on the replay, they'll have a chance to grab that.
And again, this comes free with the mega and super packs.
Oh, okay. Here's the personalized message. All right.
And again, the messages was just put up there yesterday also. So
okay.
I had like too much time to.
The Renato Cunha t-shirt.
Yep.
Holofoil variant of that cover.
Yep.
The 1 and 2 print editions. Okay, wow, lots of opportunities here to get what you need. You can mix and match. You can use them as add-ons.
Yeah.
Pick 2. Oh, hey, that's a great tier. I like this one. You've got so many of them. You don't have to just choose one, but you also don't have to. You don't have to get all. 6 of them. You can get 2 of your. I like that tier. That's pretty cool. And then this one here is pick 3 of your favorite. All right. Yeah, we talked about that one when we got down to. How do you pronounce that? Is it Geistly?
Geekly? Geekly?
Okay.
So it's a French word, which
Geekly?
maybe the art, I don't know how to say it, but I think it's geekly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Pick your 3 favorite covers. Oh, okay. All right. And the deluxe hardcover you were talking about that has all those different behind the scenes additional pages. Hardcover with it. Wow, look at all this. This is great. This is how to set up a campaign so that people can get exactly what they want. And And then you've got this.
We're new, so it's not like, so you try to give them as much options as possible, and give them, in terms of the covers, the amount of variants is because the variants are for promotion also, so you can use different images to kind of promote the book as well.
Sure.
So yeah, to just give the people as much options as possible.
Yeah, sometimes I saw one campaign. I'm not going to call the guy out because we're friends, but he had like 20 variants on his. I'm like, I think you've crossed a line. I don't know where the line is, but I think that's over it.
Yeah, Marty, who's a writer, says it's too many variants, but it's really the variants are there for promotional purposes.
Okay.
And, what'll end up happening is these are going to be very, very low print runs on some of them. So
this is true.
Some of them might just be like 50 print runs. So yeah, I think it's cool just to kind of give the options.
Agreed. Then you got the original art tiers down here.
Yep.
350 is not bad for original art pages. That's pretty good. Oh, this one sold. Oh, you got a few that you were talking about earlier that sold. All right, great. So before we wrap up, let me refresh one more time, see if we got a couple more backers, maybe. Nope, we're still at 413. All right, well, I'm glad we got a couple more for you while we were talking. Hopefully some folks who see this on the replay will also be interested and give it a backing. And I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on. This was a great conversation between you and me and Vaughn. Really enjoyed this interview and this look at these two fantastic campaigns. I'm going to stop sharing, but I'd like you to tell us where we can find you on the socials.
Socials, you can find, there's a youtube.com/Arachna comic channel.
Okay.
Then I'm on Facebook /Arachna comic, Instagram /Arachna comic. No Twitter. I got banned from Twitter, and I'll tell you why, because it's really lame. When the campaign was about to start, I got the service to get more Twitter followers, and I didn't know that was against their rules. And they just like banned the channel without like any kind of warning or whatever. And yeah, and I'm trying to get back, try to get like the account back, but they're just not. They're not responding or whatever. So it's just like, screw it. I'll just concentrate on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where you can find me on the socials. Arachnacomic.com is our website, and that's where you can get the first issue of Arachna. I'm thinking of starting a new website for X53 Studios because we're building out this universe. So we're going to be there's 2 new characters that are getting introduced in June, and then we're going to build out a team as well, sort of like Avengers Justice League type team coming down.
All right. So, well, when you get to releasing those characters and your team, make sure you hit me up again, and we'll get you on to talk about them.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, you've been a great guest, and I'd like to talk to you about the way you're building out your X53 universe.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay,
cool. Well, listen, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone in the chat. This is great to have you. We can't do this without you. And, make sure that you check out the Dojo Kun Comics channel on YouTube and watch us for next week's show. Take care, everyone.
All right. Thank you for having me.
You bet.